wearing a shirt today in honour of who I'm watching. One of the greatest of all time, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is one of my all-time favourite fighters. Huge puncher, incredible head movement. He's one of the most recognisable names and faces in boxing history. He's the youngest world heavyweight champion ever. He turned pro at 18 and was world champion by the time he was 20. He went on to become the undisputed and lineal heavyweight champion. He went undefeated during the 80s and was 37-0 before that huge upset loss to James Buster Douglas. I'm a huge Mike Tyson fan. I highly recommend his book, The Undisputed Truth. It's a great read. And yeah, one of the... And another thing as well though, before I was even a boxing fan, the first fight I ever watched was Tyson versus Lewis. And of course he was a shell of himself at that point, but still, you know, the first fight I ever watched was Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson. Okay. Oh, this video is by Elterrible production. My favourite Mike Tyson knockout is Pinkton Thomas. It's not a one-punch knockout, it's a barrage of heavy shots that drops Thomas. It's brutal. Oh, that's Buster Mathis Jr. That was beautiful. I love that knockout. That was after Tyson came out of prison. Not as good as pre-prison Tyson, but he's still awesome. I think he was still a beast in the 90s. Henry Tillman. Oh man, those uppercuts. They just look like they would cause like permanent neck damage. I mean, that is abuse. Marvis Frazier, Joe Frazier's son. Clifford NTN. That's Tyson's last ever win. Lovely. I think that really hurt his leg as well, the way it bended. Tyson could be a real good sportsman as well, because you saw him hover around Frazier actually after he knocked him out. I think he was seeing if he was alright. Oh, I think that's one of his best one-punch knockouts when he knocked out Carl Truth Thompson. That was, you could hear it. And I believe that was his, that was the last win of his undefeated streak. And Thompson's delirious. He's actually arguing that he could go on. I don't think he realised that he was knocked out. Not the best version of Tyson, because he was struggling with both before this, but that was an awesome knockout. And not a punch that Tyson's known for as well, a straight right. And both had a good chin too. No one had ever knocked him out like that at that point. The only person to ever knock out Larry Holmes. And you might think that's a shot Larry Holmes, but he would actually go on to beat Ray Mercer and then go the distance and lose a competitive decision to Evander Holyfield. So Holmes could still fight. There you go. Cherubovic. That's when Tyson became the world heavyweight champion. Yeah, Tyson versus Spinks. Kind of skipped over that one, and But yeah, sorry I talk so much through this one, but I can't help it. I'm a real geek when it comes to Mike Tyson. He's one of my all-time favourites. And thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing. Thank you.